Everybody, welcome back with the Purplatypus is the name, and welcome to another sort of Convallaria video. Today, we are going to be talking about pity and how it works. Now, there's three types of pity in this game, and there's technically three. There's effectively two, but it doesn't matter. We'll get into it, all right? So, we're just going to go into it. First, you're going to see I've crossed this out. This is because this says 75%. Like, I could show you, it's not that big of a deal, right? But this is not accurate. This is because I'm inside of a specific summon when the screenshot was taken. All right, so let's get rid of this. It's not important. What this should say is the basic. This is a global pity. This is every 100 summons, you are guaranteed to get a legendary character. Your 100 summon, if you haven't got this, resets every time you get a legendary character, but you'll never have a gap of 101 summons without a legendary character. The biggest possible gap is 100. Does that make sense? It is global. All different types of summoning on any kind of banner, any type of this, any type of that is going to count towards this. With the one exception of I think the very first summons you do don't count towards this, like the tutorial summon and the first three with the guaranteed 100% to get an SSR summon. I don't think those count, but everything else, anytime you're just like playing the game normally, you're doing summon, you are going to be going towards this 100 pity. Now, what this should say is during the event, you have a 2% chance to get a legendary character, and the featured rate up character accounts for, and this is equal to whatever you're on. If you're on a debut summon, it's 75%. Sorry, it's 50% on a debut summon. On a destined, it's 75%. I covered it up because I just thought it'd be confusing. We'll get to the other ones after that. Basically, the important part here is each summon in any summoning event will accumulate towards an overall guaranteed count. When the guaranteed count reaches 100, you will randomly obtain one released legendary character. Now, the random is affected by the current event you're doing. If you're doing the general banner, it'll be 100% random. If you're doing a rate up banner, it will be affected by the rate up, meaning the 100% guaranteed legendary will be a 50% in the debut and a 75% in the destined to be one of the rate up characters. Also worth noting, it tracks the pity live. Every summon you do, you can come back here and you could look at where your pity's at to see how far away you are from guaranteeing another legendary. So you'll never go more than 10 multis without getting the legendary ever. Okay, that's very, very good to know. Now let's go to the second type here. This is the debut. So debut pity is very similar to the Destined Pity, but they're tracked separately. Debut banners are brand new units added to the game. This is the debut of a new unit, right? So this is on launch, it's going to be Gloria. And so basically, when you're pulling on this, you're actually pulling towards two different pities at the same time, if that makes sense. Where you're getting the global pities, in general, and then you're also pulling towards this pity at the same time. So during all debut events, each summon contributes to the debut summon count. Once the debut summon count hits 180, you're guaranteed to obtain one legendary rate up character. So you're guaranteed to obtain any legendary rate up character, but there's only one rate up character on a debut thing. So you're guaranteed in 180 summons to get the featured character. For each current event, obtaining the current rate up character resets the debut summon count. So this is saying once you obtain the rate up character, this resets. When the debut guarantee is triggered, the guaranteed summon count will remain unchanged. This is saying when you get to that 180 and you summon this character and you get the featured character, this is not going to reset this other one. This isn't going to take it from if you're at 5, it's not going to put it back to 100 because typically this resets when you get a legendary character. This is an errata to that. This is saying when this is triggered, the guarantee summon count will remain unchanged. That's what that's saying. And so the debut summon count will continuously accumulate within the debut event and is calculated independently, not affecting the summon count of other types of summon events. So this is basically saying like, you're not going to be able to use this pity for the third pity here, right? Also, guaranteed counts and the debut counts exclude summoning attempts from first summon. So if you do this is like a specific event, your first 3 multis that you could do on an account. You could do them anytime, but there's an event that lets you do 3 multis for a guaranteed SSR. This is saying that this isn't going to contribute to this, okay? One thing that's really worth noting about this is this resets whenever you get a legendary character that isn't the 100 guarantee. That's the exception. But whenever you get a legendary character, this resets. However, if that 100th pull triggers on here and you don't get the rate up character, you miss the 50-50, it's not going to reset this. This only resets when you obtain the current rate up character. That's what resets this. So this is an ongoing pity. And worth noting, this is going to keep tracking over time. So if you decide to throw 100 summons in here and you miss the 50-50, you don't get the character. There's 80 summons left until it triggers. And within those next 80 summons, you will get a rate up character. Even if this banner goes away and a new banner comes in, then you will get whatever character you're pulling on within those 80 summons. So you don't need to feel like you're wasting it. You are still working towards a character, but if you want to guarantee a character, you should be saving up in advance. It's risky to pull on a character you don't want because you think you're not going to get them, but you want to do some pulls and pity's not going to carry over. Because I've done that in like Honkai Star Rail where I've accidentally got the character I didn't want. Because like I'm just going to do one multi because I want to do a pull. I'm like so far away from hitting pity. And then I got the character I didn't want and it reset because I was guaranteed to get it because I had missed my last 50-50. And so that kind of stuff can happen. So be careful when you're pulling on this on characters you don't want. It's unwise. But that's how this pity works. Finally, the third pity is very similar. It's a little bit different, kind of, but it's pretty similar. This is the Destined. So this is the banners that have more than one character that are rate up. Typically 2. I've never seen more than 2, so it's probably always 2. This is 2 characters on a banner. And so it follows the same basic rules, right? You will accumulate towards Destined Guaranteed count. When the Destined Guaranteed count reaches 180, you will get a featured rate up character you have not obtained. So this is almost worded the same. You're guaranteed to receive 1 legendary rate up character. You're guaranteed to receive a featured rate up character. So there's 2 on here though. All right. So you're not guaranteed to get the one that you want. You are guaranteed to get one of the 2. And if you trigger this a second time, you are guaranteed to get the one that you have not obtained. What is important about this is that if you already have one of the rate up characters, you will get the other one, right? If you have already obtained all feature rate up characters, you will get one of the random rate up characters guaranteed. It's just saying if you have them both, it's just going to be random. It's not going to ever give you an advantage to maxing out one or the other. So what's important here is let's say you're doing this and you get to the 100 pity and you do get the 75, because this is a 75-25% chance instead of the 50-50. But because there's 2 characters on the banner, you're less likely, you're like 37.5% chance to get an individual character as opposed to the 50. More likely to get an SSR, less likely to get the specific one that you want, if that makes sense. But if you get the 100 summons here and you guarantee get one of these 2 characters, when you get to that 180, if you haven't gotten the other one, it'll guarantee give you the one that you don't have. So it's actually pretty decent. Now you're never going to have to run to 180 twice to get both the characters, right? Because if you're summoning only on this, 100 summons will get you one of them and the 180 mark will get you the other one. When Destined Guarantee is triggered, the overall guaranteed summon count will remain unchanged. That means when you get to this 180, this one is not going to reset. That's all that means. The Destined summon count will continuously accumulate within the Destined event and is calculated independently, not affecting the summon count of other types of event. Blah, blah, blah. The first summon is also bypasses this, but this is just saying the same exact thing as before, that this is basically going to carry over between events of this type. Different if you completely whiff on here, and you don't get the Destined characters you want, the next time you pull in a Destined banner, your pity is not going to reset, okay? So those are the 3 pities. I hope they make sense. There is a generic global pity. Every 100 summons, you're going to get an SSR guaranteed. Every 180 summons, you're guaranteed to get the debut character. Every 180 summons, you are guaranteed to get one of the 2 Destined characters. However, because of the 100 pity that's built into the game as well, it is very likely that if you're going for Destined, if you get the 75% chance on the 100, then you're most of the way there for getting the other character if you didn't get the one that you want. If you're aiming for both, that's kind of cool. If you're aiming for one or the other and you miss it, you still are pretty close to getting the guaranteed character you want. And then still, at the 100 pity, you have a 50-50 here of getting this character. And the 180 is the hard pity. So there's like a soft pity and a hard pity is, I guess, a way of putting it. The 100 is a soft pity where it's guaranteed to give you a character with a dice roll if it's going to be the character you want. It's a weighted dice roll. I mean, it's in your favor in a sense. compared to other characters. And then the 180s are the hard pities. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions or if I explained something badly, let me know in the comments down below. The game is coming out soon. I want to make sure people understand the pity. The most important thing is you could look at your pities. You can watch them live. Every time you do a pull, come back, you could check it, see if you're triggered it, how far away you are. You never need to feel like you don't need to open a third-party app and track how far away you are from a pity. This is so fucking nice. I hated in Honkai Star Rail how I couldn't track my pity. I didn't know how close I was. Anyway, much love. Purplatypus is Purplatypus. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.